Tonight, let's listen to a very old miracle, spoken in a very quiet voice. Life, not just chemistry following rules, but chemistry that learned to notice the rules. Chemistry that opened tiny windows called eyes, tuned to starlight and faces. Chemistry that became hands and lungs and a mouth that can say, wow, and mean it. Chemistry that woke up, looked around, and called itself us. Breathe in and out. Again, in and out. Once there were stones and storms, oceans practicing tides, lightning writing its name in the dark. Then somewhere in the warm shallows, molecules began to copy, not perfectly, but well enough to keep trying. Modest beginnings, outrageous destinations. From those first attempts came senses, cells that tasted salt, filaments that felt current, pigments that caught a scrap of light and told the body day has come. Eyes refined from pigments, lenses shaped by time and chance, little glass windows turning photons into news. With eyes we read the sky and the faces we love and the small print of leaves. With ears we catch the air's stories, with skin we learn the temperature of kindness, with tongue we hold the memory of summer, and behind the senses, a brain. Not a warehouse of facts, but a living river of patterns, electricity knitting and unknitting 10,000 times a second. It predicts, imagines, rehearses, forgives. It can watch a star, and also watch itself, watching the star. Consciousness, a soft lantern, making a world within the world. The body, a quiet masterpiece. A heart that keeps time without applause. Lungs leafing open and closed, trading the sky for the blood and the blood for the sky. Hands that thread a needle, build a roof, hold another hand. Feet that balance an upright dream. A voice that can sing and whisper and say, I'm here. Consider the luck involved. Planets don't owe oceans, stars don't promise gentle light, chemistry doesn't intend to dream, and yet here we are. Eyes reflecting stars, born before our species learned fire. Minds that can fit galaxies into metaphors and still save room for a friend's birthday. Now, turn the gem. Imagine a universe without witnesses, no gaze, no listener, no warm animal wondering what it means. Galaxies still spiral, nebulae still bloom, comets still whisper past the quiet bones of planets. But there is no one to name the colours, no one to draw a breath when Saturn rises, no one to laugh in the snow. Light travels for 1 billion years and never finds an eye. A mountain is carved by wind and never meets a palm. A perfect evening happens and nothing says beautiful. Without life, the universe is a staggering gallery with the lights on and the doors locked. Art with no beholder, music with no listener, pages with no reader. So when you blink, you grant the cosmos a witness. When you feel a warm mug in your hands, the universe gets to be warm. When you ache and then heal, the universe learns recovery. When you love, the universe discovers a word for together. This doesn't make us the center. It makes us a bridge. Matter crossing into meaning. Starlight becomes memory. Gravity becomes dance. Time becomes a story told beside a window at night. Breathe in, feel the cool edge of the universe at the top of your lungs. Breathe out, feel the warmth you return to the room. Think of all the things your body knows how to do without asking you. Repair, balance, digest, adjust. And all the things your mind can do with a single moment. Notice the hallway sound. Imagine a future. Revisit a kindness. Write a letter you'll send tomorrow. You are a cathedral built from oceans and ash, from supernova calcium and rain. You are a long probability that found its feet. Picture a child seeing the Milky Way for the first time. The tilt of the head, the held breath, the quiet oh. In that syllable, the universe recognizes itself, not because it planned to, but because a tiny part learned to look back. And when you close your eyes, the seeing doesn't end. The lantern turns inward. Inside, rooms unfold like paper lights, music rooms, healing rooms, rooms where you forgive yourself and go to sleep. If the thought of aloneness comes, an endless unwitnessed cosmos, let it pass like wind in tall grass, because here you are. The witness exists. The page is being read. The music has listeners tonight. And if there are others, other lanterns in other rooms of the sky, wonder only grows. They too will taste rain and worry and joy. They too will name constellations and tell children stories when storms tap the windows. Hand on heart, feel the rhythm keeping weather for your days, attention behind the eyes. Feel the room that notices, feet on the bed or floor. Feel the planet lending you its patience. You belong to this, not as owner, but as the grateful guest who helps the house make sense. One more thought, gentle as sleep. If life had not arrived, the universe would still be vast, but it would be missing its echo. You are that echo, sending the world back to itself with meaning attached. Breathe in, curiosity. Breathe out, release. Let the senses soften, sight to darkness, hearing to hush, touch to warm sheets. Let the brain set down its tools. You can pick them up tomorrow. Let the body practice its oldest art, restoring the miracle that carries you. The stars will keep their courses, the moon will keep its gentle work, and in the morning eyes will open again, and the universe will have a witness once more. Good night, bright lantern. And now, let's wander further, much further deeper into the house that life built. Life teaches stone to sing by running water through it, teaches air to paint by letting leaves breathe color, teaches light to tell stories by giving eyes a place to gather it, teaches time to have a heartbeat by giving hearts a clock. Imagine the first pupil on earth. Not an eye like ours, only a speck of pigment in a shallow pond, a grain of shadow that could say brighter or dimmer. That tiny verdict became a compass, and compasses, given enough afternoons, become journeys. From journeys come memories, not just the map of where we've been, but the gentle edits of what to keep and what to set down. Memory is how the night carries a small candle from yesterday to tomorrow. How the self stays acquainted with itself. And what is a self if not a choir of cells learning to harmonize? Bones listening to muscles, muscles listening to nerves, nerves listening to the world. All of it agreeing, quietly, to be you for a while. What a polite miracle. Consider language, how breath turns into shape of the earth's hand holding you. Let the edges of the room grow soft. You are safe, and you are here. Now, return to that strange thought, a cosmos without witnesses, a billion nebulae painting in colors no one names, winds on bright blue worlds carving poetry into dunes with no readers, colliding galaxies making seas of newborn stars, and no lullabies sung beneath them. Such a universe would be vast, and silent, and innocent of the word wonder. But this universe, the one touching your breath, made creatures that wonder, not merely to survive, but to savor. To pause before a pear tree in spring and feel the knowledge travel from eyes to lungs to chest, to think this is beautiful, and by thinking it, to complete the scene. Do you see what that means? Every time you notice, you add a layer, the world as it is, plus the world as it feels, physics, plus a small kingdom of tenderness that physics makes room for. The allowance is the astonishment. Let's slow even more. Scan the body like a shoreline at dusk. Forehead smooth, eyes resting heavy like pebbles in a tide pool. jaw unlatched, tongue soft, throat wide as a small cave where warm air moves in and out, shoulders settling down like books closing, arms, hands, 10 quiet embers cooling, ribs a gentle gait swinging, belly rising falling, ships gliding towards stillness, legs, a pair of oars pulled into the boat, feet, the last fireflies going out. Now that we are quiet, a longer walk. Think of the ages before eyes, the world already performing, volcanoes, auroras, rains, the ocean rehearsing breath for a future lung, everything waiting without knowing it was waiting. Then eyes arrived, and later minds arrived, and later still compassion arrived, the ability to hold another's weather as if it were your own, to be a small climate of shelter for someone else's storm. What an upgrade for the universe, not only to shine, but to be shared. Not only to move, but to be moved by its own motion, not only to be vast, but to be held in a palm and called home. Picture the places your body has carried you, kitchens with morning light, sidewalks after rain, a bedside where someone needed you, the first time you swam, the last time you forgave. These are not small things. These are the gold threads in the fabric. Imagine the tools you've met, books that kept you company, songs that kept you brave, keys, mugs, pencils, photographs with their patient ghosts, the ordinary liturgy of human life, each object a witness to a day you survived and sometimes loved. Now imagine the days to come. They don't have to be grand. A cup of tea, a window cracked to let night air wander in, a note you leave for your future self that simply says you're doing fine. The future is mostly small rooms where kindness gets practice. Return once more to that empty universe and let it soften, because it is not ours. Ours is busy with lanterns, with glances in grocery stores, with people who remember how you take your coffee. Ours has pets who trust us and rivers that miss us when we move away. Ours has laughter that makes furniture feel useful. Ours has you, listening now, breathing now, adding your quiet yes to the choir. Breathe in, fill the top corners of the lungs. Breathe out, slow like a tide leaving. Again, in and out. If there are other minds among the stars, may they be gentle. May they have learned to be gardeners of their worlds. May they look at their skies and feel what you feel now, a steady belonging, a soft astonishment. If we meet them someday, let our first word be welcome and our second word be rest. If there are not, if we are the only story here, then we are precious beyond accounting. Then the work is simple and enormous, to keep the lanterns lit, to teach children wonder, to repair what we break, to end each day having added one small kindness to the sum. Place a memory on the pillow beside you, a safe one, a walk, a laugh, a hand you held. Let it breathe with you, slow, slower. Memories love to be allowed. They don't need to be forced. Notice how the room itself seems to lean towards sleep. Shadows longer, corners rounder, clocks more distant. The mind setting down its luggage piece by piece. You can claim it again in the morning. Tonight it travels without you. In this quiet, remember the opening line. Life. Chemistry that woke up, that noticed, that chose kindness as a strategy, that learned to make art soup and shelter, that learned to say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I'm here. What a curriculum, what a graduation, what a commencement that happens every morning. You are not required to solve anything now. You have permission to be a witness, to let the world pass through you and come out gentler than it went in, to be the warm place where the universe rests its head for a while. Breathe in, curiosity. Breathe out, release. Let the senses dim to embers. Let the brain float like a slow boat on dark water. Let the body remember its craft, how to mend quietly, how to file away the day, how to fold you into rest. The stars will keep their courses. The moon will keep its gentle work. Clouds will trade places. Tides will exchange messages with distant winds. Somewhere, a porch light will turn off. Somewhere else, a newborn will begin to cry and be comforted. The world goes on, and you may let go.